Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're going to be taking a look at a 3-game series on the ladder between Soma here in the bottom left, still technically in military, but one of the best Zergs in the world right now, still very, very active, and Speed, #1 ladder player out there, one of the most exciting Terran players, or players, period, right now that exists. So, should be good. They played 3 games in a row, and I think we'll take a look at all of them because, I mean, these two are so exciting. So, hopefully the games deliver. One thing I do want to mention that's actually kind of funny before we really get into anything here, though, is, so basically, like, several days ago, I casted a speed game where there was a carrier switch, but there was so much action, I missed it. And so people commented, actually, a lot of people commented that they as well missed it. So I was actually thinking to myself, I'm like, do people even look at the production tab? So for the last 2 days, I took the production tab off and didn't say anything. It was kind of a test to see if people are actually looking at it or actually care. Well, after checking the comments on the toilet this morning, I realized that people do care. The production tab is back. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny to read, like just how many people were like, "No, you have to bring this back. Why did you do this?" Because I was like, you know, maybe they just don't care. Maybe it just doesn't matter, and we can build some suspense without it. You know, this was the thing is, the production tab in Brood War. First off, it doesn't even work correctly. It doesn't always keep the right percentages on how far things are along. Sometimes it'll show like an upgrade almost done. You go click, it's like a third of the way done. But also it wasn't added until remastered. And so that just kind of, I find that funny because in StarCraft 2, most casting takes place and it's just the casters casting off of the production tab for the most part. And like, I always felt like StarCraft 2 would have been better without the production tab. Myself and Apollo actually had a period in StarCraft 2 history where we argued for this pretty heavily, both of us kind of having this similar idea, because the production tab can take away a bit of the suspense that you see in StarCraft 1 casting, where you won't necessarily know, then suddenly there's carriers or something like that, right? Like if the observer chooses not to show you, or the casters choose not or miss seeing it, that can add some suspense and some surprise, which I feel like doesn't really exist that much in StarCraft 2. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of had that thought when I was testing whether people like the production tab or not in these casts. But anyways, it's back. There you go. You can let me know what your thoughts are on that, especially with the context I just gave with StarCraft 2. But yeah, anyways, let's take a look where we're at. Okay, so a couple Marines moving down. This is a really common move right now. For a while, we had 1 Marine move down, and I went into depth with that, and then suddenly it's been 2 Marines for a bit, but you do have to turn around if 4 Lings are coming. So is he actually, with the 3rd Marine coming, he should be able to just about trade with this. He's going to have to turn and fire, but you have to focus fire. Yeah, and you can see that Soma actually pulls back. Can be a little bit of a tricky thing, and if they make 6 Lings, you can be in trouble. He did force the Sunken with this. This is actually huge. Just to put this into perspective, like Speed's pressure here was already extremely good. If you can force a Sunken this quickly, and you made them make 4 Lings, like that's as good as you can hope for in the early game against a strong Zerg player. That right there, that's as good as you can hope for. Okay, so he's actually gone with the 3 depot, 2 barracks play. So this is going to be, well, it's funny how he did this because he actually stopped production and got, and he kind of got like the academy going. This is actually really funny for me to watch this right now because I've been playing exactly with the move that he was doing there with the move out and the 2 depot, 3 depot, 2 barracks opener. So I'm actually really interested to see what he does with that. Because if you go for the 2 barracks... Oh, wow, that's a very quick engineering bay as well. Oh, no, it's not. That's normal. That's normal. Never mind. I'm kind of getting caught up in things. But the SCV's in here. He sees the Spire timing and everything. The Spire timing to me looks normal. So the eBay timing is completely fine. and continuing to try to push out a little bit. Like, he's just trying to put some pressure on. You can see forcing a second sunken. This is what you want. If you guys remember the Turax Academy rushes, like, the main thing you were aiming for was forcing 2 sunkens, and he's forced that without really cutting anything. He has a lot of Marines right now. Now, 4 mutas on the way, double sunken. You cannot attack into this. Takes 1 sunken hit, but he will turn around, I think. Just taking a look, couple overlords around the map in good locations. The mutas are being built. The 3rd hatchery is coming in. Medics are out. Stim, we'll see as Stim finishes. Notice he hasn't started +1 attack. This is actually the thing that I most wanted to see is because when you go for this particular build, you can't get range right away if you go +1 attack quickly. See? Okay, this is actually... This is fixing so many things in my brain right now. I'll talk about that in a second, because the mutas do come up and kill 1 SCV, but the turret finishes. So perfectly timed turrets. Ooh, that's good placement. I like that. I'm going to have to steal that. But yeah, this is really, really interesting right now. He should start +1 now. Let's see if he starts it. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it is quite a late +1. Wow, this is such an interesting game, guys. I really, really like this. I'll go more in depth in a second here as we kind of slow down. Because right now, obviously, we have like Soma very, very active with these mutas. You can see speed very on top of stimming, and this is perfect. Oh, God, what happened there? This is perfect play from Soma. This is literally perfect what he's doing right here. Where, like, he died because the Marines were moving out. 2 turrets, 3 Marines is not enough to hold those mutas, and you have to force them back. And the fact that to get rid of the turrets, like, speed, there's a world in which sometimes you lose this game. Like, if he loses 3-4 more Marines there, if Soma just has some very good micro, some very good hits, if you snowball and stay on top of the barracks, the game ends. Unable to do that, but just barely so. Okay, now the game should slow slightly. Like, he'll still fly around and look for damage, but he has a lot of damaged mutas. And I think we're going to see a base taken really quickly here. So what I wanted to mention is I've been working really hard on my Terran vs. Zerg for about a week and a half right now. And the 3 depot 2 barracks build is something I was using, but I was finding that it was really hard to pressure your opponent in the mid game because of how slow range was. Because your gas comes later if you go for the 2 barracks. So you can't go +1 right away and range right away, whereas like a 1 Rax Academy rush you can. And so speed kind of just showed that it's like, no, you get a very slow +1 with this build to have more Marines, right? Everything's a give and take in StarCraft, except for Nexus First that does everything at once. But everything else is a give and take. So really cool to see. I feel like I'm just very lucky to run into this game right now, because I've literally been working on this build a lot lately. So really cool to see Speed's take of it. But right now, Soma coming in, you can see really, really, really heavy missile turrets. Dude, I tell you. Like, even the amount of missile turrets we're seeing here, because I've been having exactly these problems. Like, you see how heavy the mutas are harassing here? Because you're going for bio and your vessels are a little bit slower. It's not that these are even slow, but like some of these positions on Polypoid, it's really hard to defend with turrets. And you can see he made like 7 turrets at his natural. Just straight up. And he's not even able to leave his base, and the vessels are almost out. So I tell you, it's like I'm learning a lot, and it's cathartic. I'm like, oh, so yeah, even Speed can't leave his base in these situations. Okay, cool. So as those mutas do get pushed back and a lot of drones get sent to that bottom right, Speed is walking out now. Soma has been able to drone up to 37, which is really, really healthy. Vessels are on the way. He hasn't started that +2 attack as of yet. Should do that pretty soon. Soma finds another good area to harass here. Excuse me. And might be able to get a lot of SCVs at this base, but this base is going to die. He's going to have to try to make some lurkers on the ramp. Okay, so he needs to get up here. Oh, he morphs 1 there. I think that one was going to get caught, so that's why. And then makes 2 on the ramp. So his mutas actually have to come down and help. With this bio coming down, like, Soma has to very quickly get rid of all this. Because he needs these lurkers to finish. If all those Marines get down here, then this is going to be really problematic because you can pop the lurkers right as they finish up there. Okay, so he actually burrows his first one. Oh, dude, this was the perfect hold from Soma. I can't even believe it. This is such a high-level game. This is a ridiculous game that we're looking at right now. Like, Soma held that perfectly. Even this lurker slowed everything. I thought that was a weird lurker egg. Like, maybe he was looking for speed to screw up and attack that for longer to give him a more comfortable morph time on these two lurkers. But the fact that he was able to burrow that to deal damage and slow down the incoming force so that he had time to actually burrow these, ridiculously good play. Ridiculously good. Now, looking back at Speed's base, he is going to 5 barracks. He does have that +2 attack on the way. He has that double vessel production going. We do not see a secondary engineering bay as of yet. But looking down at Soma's base, look at this. Adrenalings and Hydralisk range. I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills right now. Okay. I don't know if this is what he's going to do, guys. But this is making me think of the way True has been playing recently. What if he, because as soon as you see Hydralisk range, you know it's going to be some form of Hydra Lurker Defiler play. And obviously Hydra Lurker Defiler play is super strong right now, very, very popular, really hard to kill. But the only player that's really going heavy Ling with that is True right now. And we've seen a lot of those games on this channel. It looks really good the way he roams about, not with Hydra Lurker, but with Hydra Ling with his Defilers. It feels to me like it's a really good play. And if Soma does something similar, because he just got double Evo to go with that as well, so he's going to get all 3 upgrades at once. Look at the amount of Lings he's fielding right now. With those Adrenal upgrades and everything. Dude, it really looks very similar. Now, here is where this is going to get kind of funny. Ooh, he's trying to stim up. Consume finishes up, and Darkstorm goes down, so he will be able to push that back. Good try on the break there from Speed. Couldn't quite get up Soma with a very tight defense. And he's going to go ahead and push down the ramp now. Not enough Irradiates to break through. This is the type of situation where you might have been happy if you made a bunch of Fire Bats. I feel like the only player right now that we see make a ton of Fire Bats at these types of portions of the game is Bishop, but that might be something that gets mixed in later. I've been thinking a lot about that. You can see, okay, well, there's one Fire Bat. Yeah, he's actually starting to make a lot of Fire Bats. I think he's realized that it's like, oh gosh, if he's holding with 1 to 2 lurkers, like when there's 3 lurkers, you can't really break anything with Fire Bats. 1 to 2, if you have 4 or 5 Fire Bats, sometimes you run in there, you get a good spread, and you can actually just bust small lurker amounts like that. So definitely, I think, an important add-in. Right now, Speed just coming down the map. Soma has gotten up to 40 drones. He's getting his 4th base. Three dropships coming in right now as well. Let's see if he can make the dropships actually do anything. He actually just irradiated 2 Scourge there. So when you see Scourge irradiated as a Zerg, you should look at that and say, why is he irradiating my Scourge? Could he be planning a big drop? And the thing is, he has got a ton of units in here. I don't know that this drop is going to be able to get the damage done that Speed needs, but he's going to go ahead and bomb in here. 3 lurkers burrow immediately. More come through the Nidus Canal, and yeah, the Darkstorm goes down. He got nothing done there. Well, maybe he can still get a little bit done. We'll see. Send some of these over, get some Irradiates off. Not too bad, not too bad. He still hasn't been able to expand over here either. Trying to load up a few more units to bring in. I think, yeah, maybe he's looking at this and saying, well, you know what? We still have this bio ready down here. Maybe we can get in and get a little bit more damage as well. The Scourge actually chases the wrong medevac, or not medevac, but dropship in there. The amount of drops we're seeing, it feels like medevacs right now. But yeah, this is, I gotta tell you, I'm looking at this, and it looks really good for Soma. Even though Speed has gotten a bunch of drops in here, Soma has defended everything. He's not taking critical damage. He's kept his drone count very close to the Marine count. Speed has been trying to put on endless pressure. He is floating a 3rd command center, and obviously this is kind of late. But this is the trend of SK Terran right now. You know, we went through like, what was it, 10 TVZs in a row where I kind of showed SK Terran, which is Marine Medic Science Vessel, isn't winning games anymore at the pro level. It's very rare. It's normally sunken bus type of games that it's winning. Very few games that get to consume finishing go towards Terran. So Terrans have been getting more aggressive, heavier barracks production on those Marines, and really trying to keep that pressure onto Zerg. And unfortunately, he just hasn't gotten that much damage. Like, Soma is looking really, really strong defensively here. And now he's starting to zone out the science vessels, which this is always the problem when you go SK Terran right now, is everyone likes to go Hydra Lurker Defiler. Now look at this, coming up, and he's just going to start farming plagues. All you need is to plague this one time, and there you go. All this is going to 1 health, and you just can't fight against this. It's like Marine Medic technically is supposed to beat Hydralisk, but when everything's 1 health, obviously the Hydralisks win. So more lurkers coming out, more lings. There's not as much of a roam here as what we see True do, but that might be as well because Speed has been so forward. He's been just pressuring nonstop. Now, more dropships coming in that I did not miss. Going into the natural here, going into the main. Nice scan to get that 1 lurker. Ooh, this looks like it's going to actually get a lot of damage here. Very, very important moment. All these units have been plagued out there, so he does need to heal those up. A lot of defilers popping out. He is losing some of these vessels here. He's done a good job not getting too many of the vessels plagued, but does lose a few of those, and it looks like that will get cleaned, but a lot of Soma's mining has been interrupted. Now, he has a little bit of a counterattack coming up, but there's no Defiler in here, so... Oh, never mind. There's your Defiler. So this could become deadly. Absolutely could. Throws down 1, and he has those lings, so you can go ahead and throw down another one. If you get into the natural, it generally ends up winning the game. Not every single time, especially when you're being busted over here, but yeah, gets a nice plague off. Does have at least 1 ling in there, so might still be able to get another Dark Swarm down. Definitely wants to get the Dark Swarm down there. 1 more Dark Swarm would be huge, but the Radiate gets rid of that. In the meantime, finally clears this, does not lose the natural, doesn't actually lose any of his tech buildings or any of his upgrades, and didn't even lose that many drones. So even though this looks like it did a lot of damage, it actually, you know, it slowed some mining, it did get some drones, and he did re-drone and everything, but like Soma is definitely way ahead right now. This definitely looks like a Soma victory. When you're pushed all the way back and Zerg is sending units at you, you're generally going to be dead at that point. So we'll see if Speed is able to start to bring this back. That was an excellent irradiate. He almost got all the Scourge there. Oh, and he gets him. Okay, does throw down... Oh, that's so funny. That's like automatic. Excuse me. Mass vessels floating above lurkers as they burrow, but he scans anyways. And that's going to be it. Soma is going to take down Speed, so I got to say a few things. This was kind of high-paced. First off, I feel like someone out there's... I'm not a religious man, but someone's looking out for little old Tosis and his Terran play. Because I have seriously, if you are someone who both watches the channel and watches my stream, you'll see that I've been playing a lot of Terran vs. Zerg lately. I've been using basically the exact strategy that Speed is using here, and I've been running into the exact same problems. I did get to learn that he's saying, screw it, just get really late +1, which I really like. I'm going to be trying that out immediately. But running into the same problems where it's like he's doing all these drops and stuff and just not getting real concrete damage. He's not able to pick off the buildings. There's a lot of units in here to block. There's a lot of Scourge that you have to deal with. Can't quite irradiate out. The plagues start coming in. Your army starts falling apart. I'm really interested to see the next 2 games from these two. This was the first of the 3 games that they played against each other. Obviously, excellently played by both sides. But again... you know, that the SK Terran definitely having a hard time against modern Zerg right now. Guys, I hope that you did enjoy this game with the production tab. And we'll see you next time.